Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. We made it. Straight off the bat, it is really hot today. It's almost in the hundreds. I normally turn the AC off in case it picks up on the mic and makes a little extra noise. It, I kick that thing off. This house turns into an oven, so hopefully the mic does not pick it up. This mic isn't as sensitive as the camera mic, so I think we'll be okay. Though I will be doing night shooting for a while, that's for sure. Glad you could all make it. We already got quite a few people in here. It seems, well, some of them looks like they left when I showed up. I guess my face is ugly today. That's okay. No, I'm not. I'm not any uglier. That's all right. Let's see here. Juan, welcome. Kara, good to see you. Ms. Weeks, hey, good to see you. You probably got a bit of heat down there yourself, so you know what I'm talking about. Purified, good to see you. Luna, Victoria, hello. A12, good to see you. Joanne, good to see you again too. All right. We already got a question in there too. One, I keep seeing Hecate's name or coming out of nowhere. I'm wondering if they want to work with me. Is that how it works? That is a way it can work. It's not necessarily that's how it works. But generally speaking, if you start seeing an entity's name, it's at least a good idea to start looking into their lore and studying on them and seeing if they are an entity that you would like to work with. Because in that case, of course, you can easily reach out to them and start working with them. Just because you're seeing their name doesn't mean you have to work with them. But it is usually a tip you might at least want to start looking into their lore, which is a big deal. Always a good thing to check into their lore. Check out our video on finding or contacting a god or entity or goddess. That video should really help you out a lot there. Juan. Peachy, good to see you. And Jade, hello, hello, hello. Great to see you both in here. So, okay, it has been a busy week here. And Bornoldas, hey, everybody's falling in here. It's going to be a good night. I can tell. All right. We've had a lot of things going on. I've been working on a new class for the school. Been scripting up a bunch of videos and had some great ideas for videos, including the Angel series that we are going to get started very soon. I know many of you is like, where's our Angel videos, Drake? They're coming, I promise. I haven't forgotten. I am working on them. I'm over here juggling chainsaws. That's how busy I am, really. While trying to herd cats. It ain't easy, trust me. But it's worth it. It is very much worth it. KRY, hey, glad you could join us. Of course, I have had my own workings, my own path workings. Many of you know I'm working on a path working with the Winter Fae right now. That's been intense to say the least, though they're giving me a lot of interesting formulas and spells and stuff like that to try out and apply. And if they function to my satisfaction, then they will be included in the path working when it's made available. Also, I've gotten like 30 questions since the last stream asking where you all can find my book so that you can start learning dragon magic. I don't have a book. I don't. I apologize. However, what we do have is we do have an online school at workingdragonmystic.com where you can purchase a full online video course. So it'll be just like you taking a class with me. And you can sign up there. The course is pre-recorded, so you don't have to worry about when I'm available. You can take it at your own pace, at your own speed. It is a full beginner setup course. From beginner all the way through the course, I'd say it probably gets you at least to intermediary through the... But for Dragon Magic, and it's called Dragon Magic 101. It's right over there. That would be the place to go. And it is priced about what you would actually cheaper than what you see some occult books. But I apologize. I do not at this time have it in book format. And the individual I was talking to help me with formatting it let's just say they're no longer available. So that's going to take a little bit more time there, and I apologize. But it's still something we want to do. But I do not have an ETA, not even in a matter of years, because I lost that person. But if you are interested in getting started, head over to workingdragonmystic.com, the online school. That's where all the classes will be posted as they're finished. That's the place to go. I've been told I don't mention my things enough, and you guys are wondering where they're at. And then I'm like, well, I'm not good at talking about myself and what I have to offer. If you all's noticed. Anyway, there we go. Hopefully, for those of you who have been looking for it and wondering, you guys can go over and find it. We also have a meditation course over there that is fantastic. It's very in-depth. It's massive. But yeah, and we will be adding more courses, promise. All right, let's see. Shelby, welcome. Hey, yeah, you made it. Good to see you. Tara, good to see you again. I'm late, but oh my God, I was watching Ancient Aliens. And wow, it's so funny and a lot of crazy. I won't lie. Ancient Aliens, I had a surgery and I couldn't do anything. And I made the mistake of trying to watch something funny. I was the only one awake when I decided to do that. I started laughing so hard I couldn't turn the TV off because it hurt. So I was trying to get the remote. I couldn't get up. I mean, I was in stitches. It was bad. And I don't mean laughing stitches. I was literally in stitches. They wouldn't even actually let me sleep lying down. But I finally was able to get the TV turned off. So for like 2 or 3 weeks, all I watched was stuff like documentaries, and Ancient Aliens was one of them. And I have to admit that was still a dangerous one, because that is a funny show. I never understood the memes where it's like, no matter what the question is, the guy would always say, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens, until I actually sat down and marathon that. It's some of the theories I could say could be interesting in theories, but they're not taking them as theories. They're taking them as solid facts. But it was an interesting show to watch, so I can understand you there, Tara. It's kind of funny. It's just like, me and the wife was actually sitting there. It's like, yeah, or it could be. It was actually pointing out very easy solutions for what it could have been. It was a good time. Good way to spend your time laid up from surgery. Shelby, do you currently work with dragons as of now? Yes, I do. I still work with them quite often. Actually, daily. I still work with my guardian, my co, and the 9 rulers. My guardian co have actually been working with me on this Fey path working, which personally I'm kind of glad to have them there, because I can't say Mab's ever given me a reason not to trust her, but at the same time, it's freaking Mab. And I trust her to be Mab. So her and the other lords and ladies of winter always give me the heebie-jeebies to some extent. So I'm good to have my, it's comforting to have my guardian and my co-magician along for the ride with me. But yes, I do very much still work in dragon magic. I still use the Ritual of the Flame daily. Just because I'm utilizing other path workings, I do still work with these dragons. They are my friends. They are my family. They are my allies. So they will always be a part of my life. In fact, I'm actually still researching some of the rituals. I've been working on this massive rituals the dragons have given me that's advanced. If I'm understanding correctly, when we release the 104 course, that's where the dragons want this particular ritual placed. So I'm still on the grindstone too, Shelby, and it's a lot of fun. I got to say, I love it. One, is Gilgamesh an entity one can work with, or does he not exist? If so, how do I call out him? I don't know if he's an actual entity or not. He's not one I actually reached out to personally. I do know the mythos of Gilgamesh and all that, which ties into some of the older Babylonian Sumerian style lores. I'm not sure exactly where he fits in. Um, so I can't say for certain, but I mean, you could easily call out to him the same way you could call out to any entity. You just need a name. Check up that hailing ritual. You don't necessarily need sigils. Sigils are actually a modern construction, really. Um, most entities and especially deities just never had sigils, but you could easily attempt it. I've never sought to work with Gilgamesh. That's actually an interesting question, Juan. And I've told you if I ain't worked with them, I'll tell you. But yeah, I love the story of Gilgamesh. Um, I've found some of his appearances in fiction interesting, but I've never worked with him directly. So I really can't say one way or the other on that one, mate. I apologize. Say sorry, I'm new. Sorry if you've shared before. Curious what your outside YouTube job is and if your family and friends know you practice. Um, I am a professional occultist. That is actually what I do. The YouTube channel doesn't pay bupkis, I'll be honest. It helps keep the lights on. And thanks to the supporters here at YouTube, the members and patrons, you guys make sure my cameras keep rolling, and I appreciate the support. But I actually am a full-time occultist. So I do. I am ordained to do marriage ceremonies, which I've been called on in occasions to do. I do spell work, divination work, but my primary love is teaching. I love to teach people and empower them. I would rather teach a person and empower them than to do divinations for them. I actually do not like doing divinations for other people. I prefer to teach people to master themselves and take charge of their life in their own power. That's really where my true love and passion is. That's one reason I started this, so I could reach more people and share that information. And of course, we are moving to the online school method so that I can reach more students that way, not just one-on-one, because there's so many people wanting to learn, and I just have the ability to do the one-on-ones the way I would like to. So this old dinosaur's got to adapt. And does my family and friends know what I do? Yep, they do. They do. My wife is more than happy to tell friends at work what I do for a living. My mom may not necessarily understand what I do, and it kind of creeps her out. I'm not gonna lie, kind of weirds her out. But she does know what I do, and as she puts it, it scares her. She don't understand it, but she is glad that I have found something I love that allows me to help people, because apparently all through my life I've had this drive to be able to help people better themselves. Um, so according to her, I've had that drive. So if that's a true statement, then awesome. But so she's happy I found my path, even if it's extremely unconventional. My stepdad, definitely more business minded. He's been a hoot with this because he's inquisitive. He knows I have a very scientific mind, so he approaches any conversations about it in that lane. And me and him have some amazing conversations. My sisters, they know what I do. Um, so yeah, everyone in my life knows what I do for a living. I do not hide it in any shape, form, or fashion. Um, yeah, so I'm wide open. Uh, Leah, hey, doing good. Hope you're doing well too. Ishtar was in the Gilgamesh myth on its hand. That's a great idea. Thank you for chiming in on that, mate. Let's see. Let's see. Ian Hydrate, this might be a stupid question, but do gods really want to help and guide humans? or could there be some sort of agenda? I don't think that's a stupid question, Ian. I think that is actually a wise question because I think we should occasionally ask ourselves why someone is seeking so much to help us. In fact, I did do that. I did just that. I grew up in a situation where I can't say I was a trusting human being. But yes, the gods actually do have an actual desire to help us grow. I don't know if you've ever noticed, Ian, but when you teach someone, when you help someone in their growth and what they're doing in their life, you yourself gain wisdom and understanding because not only are you able to view the information and what you're doing from your perspective, but it also reflects back on you in a mirror. And you see it from a whole new perspective, which gains all new knowledge. And that is honestly one of the things I love about teaching so much. I will be teaching a lesson, and a student will throw something at me at an angle or a perspective that shows they understand it, but they also bring to a whole new avenue of thought process for me to sit and meditate on. And that helps me to grow and progress. So, yeah, the gods are still growing, they're still learning, they're still progressing, and them wanting to help us ascend, to help lift us up, does indeed help them grow. And that in turn helps the entirety of the multiverse progress forward. That is not something I would necessarily refer to as an agenda personally, because an agenda usually has a negative connotation when someone applies it. Um, but I could see how some people might view that as an agenda. They are helping us to help us genuinely and caring. They actually want to help us, but in so doing, it's naturally going to also help them as well. Shelby, for your dragon work, do you talk to them during meditation or in daily life? That would be so cool to get to that point. Both, Shelby, actually both. In the Dragon Magic 101 course over at workingdragonmystic.com, we teach you meditation. We teach you how to build an astral sanctum. We teach you how to find your guardian and your co-magician. There's entire path workings on how to bond with them. And you can talk with them in your astral sanctum. You can talk with them during meditations. And you can also, yes, learn to talk with them in your daily life. I've mentioned it many times. My guardian loves to freaking mimic me cooking. And there's actually times my guardian has even critiqued certain herbs and spices that I should try on a particular dish. And I will try it. And okay, I won't lie, more often than not, they are on point. They are on point with their seasonings. There's been a time or two, Aunt B wouldn't like what they made. They really wouldn't. But yeah. Ian, mate, thank you. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. But yes, it is possible to get to that point where you can talk to them just in your daily life. It's a hoot. And I enjoy it. Though at the same time, you're never alone because there's been plenty of times I've went and I didn't feel like doing anything, so I went to take a nap, and they're quick to remind me we got work to do. Get up. It's like, so there is that. But they are a blast to work with, Shelby. They really are. What is Jehovah like to work with? I actually found Jehovah quite interesting. Very calm, very patient. In a manner, many of you see, I'm expressive. Okay, I'm Southern. We're just an expressive people. Um, Jehovah is like so calm all the time that it almost gets annoying. But he's very understanding. He's very. It's hard to explain, but he's really easy to just sit and chat and talk with because he's just so flatlined, calm, understanding, and he tends to give lessons in the most roundabout ways. He'll be talking about something over here. You don't even realize it's on the lesson. but somehow it curves around here, and you realize he brings you around to where you realize and you understand the lesson from the story. I guess you might call it almost a parable, but I found him interesting to work with since I've approached working with him and made my peace. And many of you know I grew up in the church, so during church time I didn't actually work directly with him. It's been an interesting progression, but I have found it quite interesting. So. Yeah, Oni-chan, I have heard of Reiki. I actually have my Reiki masters. But I got reasons. I'm not a fan of Western Reiki. Let me just say that in the long run. It is a great practice. It is a efficient practice, but it's almost turned into a cult the way they handle it. So, but energy work and Reiki work is actually very, very interesting. Most of the people who are charging some of these god awful amounts for these classes, I'd say it's not worth it. It's just another tradition of energy healing. I know there's a lot of Reiki people out there that's going to re on me on for saying that, but it is. And that's one reason I put in all the time and effort to get my Reiki masters, because I tried to find out what the difference was. Let's see. One, I need some healing for my hair. That's understandable. We all have some issues with the hair. In fact, I mean, dude, I'll be honest, mine's getting, look at that. See, I got a little thinned up there. Many of you saw the channel last year. You probably saw I had my head shaved a bit. I'll be honest, just own it. Own it, man. But as far as specific hair spells or anything, I've never worked with it. I've never done with them. Everybody I know, their hair starts thinning or going. All the men around here, they just own that. Let's see. What are some of the tools and aids in astral projection? Honestly, practice is about the best one. If you go to the best tool and aid for astral projection, in my opinion, hands down, is to construct an astral sanctum. And if you go check out our video on easy astral projection, which you can easily search here, Miller, you'll be able to find that. Also, search the video on astral sanctums. Those two videos will catapult you and get you moving in astral projection a lot quicker. Those are your two best aids. I'll be honest with you, those two outclass any candle, any oils, any teas, and any crystals that any of my students have ever come across. Now, that's not to say crystals and stuff might not help. I've had some students say they've had good luck with amethyst, but the astral sanctum and the methods that are taught in the astral projection made easy video are generally the most powerful tools. Oh, no problem, man. Always happy to answer a question, mate. No problem, A12. And that's one thing. When someone's like, what's an entity like? We do have to remember personalities clash. So an entity I get along with great. They may have a personality that rakes your nerves. Like Jehovah, he's so flatlined, I can only work with him in small doses because I know it's nothing personal. I know he's just so calm, but that's just a personality type I can't spend a lot of time around because it's just weird to me. I like some shenanigans. I like when people get loud. I like when people get mouthy. I think that's why I like Odin so much. He'll definitely, smack talk you in a heartbeat. So there's a lot of people who will absolutely love that kind of flatline chill. But even with my chill, I like some good jokes in there. He don't really. I don't think I've ever really heard him crack any jokes. The closest thing to a joke I think I ever remember Jehovah saying was when I went and vented all my frustrations. He literally sat there just calm as a coma and just listened to me just rah, 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 rah. And when I was finished and I was exhausted and I had vented all my emotional garbage, are you done? Yeah, I'm done. That's the closest to a joke he ever got to. So different people are going to have a different opinion on different entities. But I do. I enjoy working with you. So you always got to consider your personality and their personality and how they may interact. One, what's Hecate like to work with? Hecate is direct. There is no BSing with her. You either do the work she gives you or you don't. There is no in betweens. There is no I'm trying. There is no excuses. She is very, 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 very direct. She is all about self empowerment. So if you're wanting an entity to do things for you, Hecate is not the one to go to because she will push you back down rather than help you up because she wants you to get up by your own power. Now, she will teach you, she will help you, she will build you up and give you the strength to get yourself back up. But much like physical training, you better be ready to do the work because she will start, when she starts working, there's no timeouts. But she is a fantastic goddess to work with. Shelby, you have a cooking dragon. Well, yeah, my little guardian, he tends to like to play around in the kitchen. I love to cook myself, so it makes sense. But he's really the one that tends to do most of the cooking stuff. A few of the other dragons I've worked with have taken an interest in food. My co-magician actually is a wine fan. He loves different wines. I always see him with some kind of a wine, which I've even found some of the wines that he's had that I've never even knew they existed. I found them in a liquor store before and tried them, and he's let me try them before I found them, and they were the exact wine. It was really amazing. But I'm not a wine drinker per se, but he is. So, yeah, they have some interesting personalities. Let's see, Tara, own your hair. Get that. I don't think I want the head tattoo, but I have no issues with my hair. I don't. I like my hair. Occasionally, I'll take obviously you've seen where I shaved it just to see what the heck it'd be like. I enjoyed it for a while, but I kind of missed just having my hair. I got asked the other day how long I'm going to let it get this time because I used to have a ponytail. And I was like, I don't know. I may go back to the ponytail just because I'm lazy. I don't feel like going to the barber every week or every couple of weeks. Because my hair grows quickly. And I won't lie, the ladies seem to dig the whole salt and pepper thing I got happening here. So that's always nice. Peachy, I miss Dragon Buddha so much. Do you? Well, too bad. My hair is still growing. Everyone say hi, Peachy, or better yet, say, hey, Peachy. No, we don't need that drawn. No, we don't. We don't need the Dragon Buddha drawn. We definitely don't do that. I actually did have a friend had a massive tattoo coming up his neck and crowning at his forehead. It was amazing. Let's see here. Okay, we are moving quickly here, and I think I'm missing some things. So if your question is really important, do remember we do have super chats, and the super chats will make it flash up on the screen. Make sure I don't miss it. So make sure, I should have said that earlier. I apologize. We're 30 minutes in. I'm just now saying that. Also, we got 21 people in here and 12 likes. People, give us a thumbs up. Let YouTube know you actually like the work we're doing and you like hearing me and my southern twang up here answering questions and telling you whatever stories of my stupidity we got to tell tonight. Because the algorithm likes to know that you all like what we're doing, and that thumbs up really does help. So smash that thumbs up button for us, please. Helps more people find the channel. Let's see, what is a small list of entities you know of that have high energy and are super fun, like humor and have passionate creativity? A short list? Because that, okay. Freya, Odin, Thor, Loki, Hades, Aphrodite, Athena, Expunwell, Torgra, Zephyrsil, Inga Salor. Let's see who else. Lucifer, Lilith, Nama, uh, Paimon is actually pretty high energy. So yeah, short list. See, Ian, can you do daily prayers to Thor for protection for your loved ones, or would he only? No. You can ask Thor to protect your family. That's one of the beauties of these entities. They're not just going to focus on you. They will definitely work to help your family as well. That's one of the beauties of something simple like the Hailing Rite. The Hailing Rite, in a lot of ways, is a very simple ritualistic prayer that can be shaped in any way you want, but you can actually just be as simple as just get down and say, Hail Thor, give some honor to him and ask him for the protection and the strength to protect yourself as well. Do remember that the Norse gods, though they will help you, they also want you to help yourself. So make sure you make it two parts there. But show them that you recognize that part of that protection is going to come from your side of the fence as well. But yeah, you can totally do that, and you can easily do it in a very simple prayer. You don't have to get fancy at all. Let's see, Shelby, might want to ask the wife about the hair first. My wife actually, I did actually run it by her before I shaved my head, and her answer's always been the same. She likes my hair, she likes my curls, but it is my hair, and I'm free to do with it what I want. Which I'd be lying if I didn't say one of the things with my head shaved that I missed was her actually playing with my hair. So that was a bit of a reason for me growing it back out. I do love the way she plays with my hair, even though I've never been a fan of my curls, but she likes them. So, hey, that works out. And if I grow the ponytail back out, she'll be happy. I remember once my hair was already long and I had a ponytail. My mom's like, Seffi, make him cut his hair. And she's like, why? I like it. So I don't in the South, the mom will usually go to the wife for support. My wife ain't supporting her. She's like, I like it. It's pretty awesome. Wizard Warrior, hey Drake, today is my solar return birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Wizard Warrior. Mugs up to you. Everyone, say happy birthday to Wizard Warrior. Give him big old mugs up. He survived another trip around the sun, which is always a good thing. I don't know how I've survived as many as I have. I do way too much stupid stuff. Well, that's not the entire Norse pantheon, but the Norse pantheon generally likes to have some fun. Luna, the hailing ritual is definitely powerful for how simple it looks. Yes, it is a very, very simple structure. But if you look at it, you're calling to the entity, you're showing the entity respect, you're calling them by titles. and as well as recognizing part of their deeds and their lore, which is important within that culture. And you're honoring them before you just come out and ask. It's a very, very simple thing, but it's massively powerful. I think I looked pretty good with my ponytail. And honestly, I'm probably going to let it. I mean, you can actually see back here, it's already getting pretty long. So it probably won't be too long before I'm having to pull it back again. Since I dress in black and I have a black background and most of my hair is still dark, except for those little salt and pepper regions here, you really usually don't see how long my hair is. Jedi, glad you can make it. Thank you for the head rub, man. Wizard Warrior, you've been a good part of the community. You've always asked us some good questions, gave us some stuff to think about. And hey, it's good to celebrate the community. That makes me, we should probably do a Working Dragon Mystic birthday something or another and try and figure that out. I think I'll do a little brainstorm and see if we can't do some community birthdays or something. Do a shout outs or something during the streams. Oni-chan, have you ever worked with the Mesoamerican god Quetzalcoatl? If so, what are they like? I've worked with Quetzalcoatl 2 or 3 times, very short bursts, and largely because I was needing to do so for a client. The one of them, I was actually working with an individual who they were doing their own workings and they asked my assistance. So they were really leading most of that work. I don't really have a lot to go on for personality. It's just one of the, because it's been minimum. But during the workings, the energy was definitely high. Definitely loved the energy. Definitely loved the energy. And during the times that I spoke with Quetzalcoatl, I have to say, I got the gist that it was like to work. I've just never had time to, Oni-chan. But beyond that, I don't have enough data to give a much better answer. I wish I had time to work with all these entities and get to know them. Unfortunately, we all have the same 24-hour day. Yeah, I did have a bit of a ponytail, I think, when I started. Did I have a ponytail when I started? I think I did. If I didn't, then I know I've posted pictures of it. A few of you've seen a picture of me on the Discord where I'm looking down and someone snapped a picture. It's not in a ponytail, but my hair is long enough that it's draped over my shoulder at that point. But yeah, I liked having my hair long. I actually did. It's just occasionally my hair gets on my nerves and I cut it. So I'm just random like that. I take a wild hair pops up and it's like, I'm going to do something. Keeps life interesting though. Okay. Good questions in here tonight. So, let's see. Seems like there was something else I was wanting to tell you all, and I'm just drawing a blank on it. If you can, though, hit the thumbs up. Give us some likes. We still got 23 people and 18 likes. So let's get those up there a little bit. That way, YouTube will show the video to more people who are seeking the information. It's always good. Jedi Master Espresso this evening. Hey, nice. Take it easy, Tara. Have a good evening. Scratch the little kitty's head for us. Say hi to him. And have a great weekend. Okay, the tarot course. Yes, the tarot course we are working on it. I've actually spent some time today actually looking over some of the filming notes because we are actually getting ready to step in and start filming it. And I'm hoping to be able to get the filming done possibly before second week of September. I have some personal goals for that class because I'd like me personally. This is not a date of release. Do not take this as that. But I would like to actually be able to launch the tarot course around Halloween and Samhain if I can. But there's a lot of filming, a lot of editing and stuff like that we're going to have to get through, obviously. But I think we're very much in progress to do that, Luna. So yes, and I know a lot of people are really itching for that tarot course, and it is a priority, I promise. The Fae one, no idea on that one because I don't know if I'm going to have enough notes from walking this path working one time to be able to film it. I may have to walk the path working twice. Bear with me on that. I'm going to do the best I can. The Norse course, that one we are actually working on the notes for, and we are wanting to really try and do something with that course where we're wanting to approach it in a way that not only incorporates runic magic but also seed work, and we're wanting to make and show how simple this work can be, how almost family-like Norse magic can be, and we want to make it accessible, and we want to try and cover not only the pantheon, but we're also wanting to cover the 9 realms. So we are wanting to really put a lot into that Norse course limit. So me, Odin, Freya, Loki, Hel, and many, many others have been constantly sitting down and going back and forth in just exactly how we're going to structure this for you all. Voyager, which is the best entity to ask for a job with special requirements like work from home, under the table if possible, not lose the doctor and or better. That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one because when you're talking under the table, I would actually recommend against under the table. I really would, generally speaking. I just recommend against under the table. Thinking on that one because that is tricky. Good one for getting a job in the. You could probably go to Odin for that one. Loki probably wouldn't be a bad one for that. I said I wouldn't recommend under the table. Under the table can get you in legal troubles, and I do not recommend that. Um, I've always been above the table, always with everything I've done. But you could probably go to Loki. Ex Boonwell, which is a dragon that we actually do have a video on here on this channel, is actually wonderful with employment and prosperity. And he can help you with special requirements, but dragons, they deal in a balance. So I don't know how he'll take the under the table part of it necessarily. But outside that, he could actually help you very well into meeting your goals if you wanted. Um, Belial could actually help you with that too. Belial would actually be a pretty good entity to help with that. Um, Hades actually does deal with wealth and prosperity a lot more than people think. So you might be able to reach out to him. Trying to think of some other good ones. Oh, I understand. Believe me, I understand. I got a lot of people that I know in the same situation. Didn't say it's a good situation, but at the same time, if you end up caught, your situation can get much, much worse. That's why I never recommend. Always remember, if you get caught, there's consequences, and I don't wish to. I cannot tell a person what to do. Okay, I'm not telling you what you're doing is wrong. But me personally, I cannot recommend a course of action that may produce a consequence. So I have to advise in the most consequence free way I can. That's just the responsible way. Beyond that, you are a free individual and you are free to make your choices and live your life. And I will support that freedom. Hope that makes sense to you there, Voyager. But yeah, X Boonwell should give you, he should be pretty handy on that. Yeah, Hades is a lot of fun, and he is very, very helpful when it comes to wealth and employment. A lot of people overlook Hades in those areas, but he is magnificent. And everyone, thank you for popping out entities there, because y'all know I get a little brain rattled when asked for a list of entities. So I appreciate y'all chiming in and helping. And also, well, I don't know all the entities, so it's always good to have some kickback and help from the community. Top out with coffee here. Well, one, that's actually a very complex question. It's not very, to me, a person should be free to live their life as they see fit, where they see fit, as long as it is not harming another person. But they are still required to follow the laws of the land and the place they choose to live. But you also should not be forced to you should not be forced to help others or do for others that won't do for you. All right, Juan. Freedom has consequences. Actions have consequences. Okay? Seriously. End of story. If you feel you're free to hurt someone and you hurt them, you can bet you're getting that butt whooping back. That's the consequences of your action. Just because you're free to make an action doesn't mean an action doesn't have consequences. The multiverse actually functions on cause and effect. The multiverse actually has consequences. Every action will have a consequence. If you think that you can live a consequence-free life, you're only delusional and fooling yourself. There are consequences to every action we take. Freedom and responsibility go hand in hand. You will have to answer to the consequences of your actions in one way or another. We all do. Whether that be the laws of the land or, I want to jump off a cliff and it's not going to hurt me because I'm free to jump off a cliff. Guess what? It's going to hurt regardless of what you think. Well, you got to be careful because these times and ages, that is a tricky question. But freedom and responsibility do go together. And as long as you want to do something that's not harming another person, I really don't care. But the second you try to force your opinions, your beliefs, or your restrictions or your ideals onto another person against their will, now you cross the line with me. I'm very easy to get along with because as long as you're not trying to take a personal freedom from someone or harm another person, I'm okay. That's how it is. I'm pretty easy going on that. But yeah, in this environment, that's a tricky question. I was trying to answer it as best as I could, Juan, because I didn't think you're trying to start nothing there. I didn't. But at the same time, it's like I was trying to answer it, but let's be honest. That's a question that's a powder keg this day and age, and it shouldn't be. It should not be. That should be a very straightforward, innocent question. Let's see what we got here. Alexis, what's the most dangerous magic you've worked with? Is there any entity or magic you won't work with? A lot of people tell me the Necronomicon is chaotic. Okay, well, that's a fair question. To sum it up, is there any magic or entity I won't work with? Nope. I'll stick my head down any rabbit hole. What's the most dangerous magic I have worked with? There's no specific system. It's when I strode blindly without thinking. Any system of magic is dangerous if you walk in blindly. Many of you have heard of my oopsie with the cliff off. And that cost me 2 years of hell and just getting my butt whipped because of my own personal stupidity. It wasn't the cliff off itself, though. I mean, it was the cliff off I messed around with and caused it. But I've also been pathworking the cliff off for 2 or 3 years since then. And though it's been a rough ride, it's not been anything compared to that 2-year mistake. Which the mistake only took me a week to make and 2 years to clear up. So magic is a tool. Any system of magic is a tool. It's not a matter of is it safe or is it not. It's are you ready to handle the tool? That is, in a sense, the question, Alexis. Any magic can blow up in your face if you allow it. And that includes the tree of life. So, there's that. Now, entities, I've had good, even entities I don't get along with, I can still work with easily. So I can't think of an entity I won't work with. As far as the Necronomicon, that is an interesting topic. And it is a topic I've actually done a little research on in the past. Some people think the entities from the Necronomicon are only egregores because it is a fictional book. And by and large, it does appear to be a fictional book. However, there is an argument raised that the Necronomicon was inspired by entities and that the fictional book was inspired by these entities through the dreams and created a fictional work that actually contains real entities. That I find to be an interesting theory, and I have reached out and worked with some of the entities from the Necronomicon in the past. And I got to say, I got some interesting results, but I do want to dive deeper. At this time, I can't say if they're real entities or egregores, but I was able to get some results. But again, those energies are just as controllable as any other system as long as you're prepared. Now, those energies are very chaotic. They're very primal by their very nature. The egregores themselves were almost constructed with a form of almost madness intended if it's an egregore. So there is a sort of discombobulated nonlinear pattern to the currents there. So you do need to make sure you're good on your grounding and your shielding if you're going to play with that stuff. But I do plan to do a much deeper work into the Necronomicon and the entities therein, and hopefully share my findings on that in the future. I've just got to clear some things off the table. Like I got the Fey Path working, I've got this whole Cliffothic thing happening, but the Necronomicon can be an interesting one, and there are people who the chaotic nature of it got to them, but they also weren't grounding and shielding. Let's see here. Purified. Hey, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. Oh, my goodness. Sorry for the dumb cue, but if I remember correctly, the future doesn't exist. So how does scrying and divinations work? Oh, awesome question, Purified. Awesome question. And thank you for the super chat, my man. So scrying and divinations. First off, scrying can actually show the present, not just the future. But if you are talking about the future, what you are looking for, what you are scanning is, in general, the first thing you're going to see is the most probable pathway and future based on as everything stands now. You are correct. The future is not yet written. There are multiple things that can constantly change. You are shown only a snapshot of a probability based on everything as it is now. Simple thing is, though, you get up, you walk outside, you could completely change that pathway. This works with all divinations and scrying. So the best way, and this is one of the things I want to cover in our divination course, is when you are doing divinations, particularly for the future, you're not using it to see what will be. You're looking to see how you get to there. You want to understand that pathway. Think of it like a map. You spread a map out. There's all kinds of roads that go to what city you're going to. What is the best, most efficient route to make sure you get there and don't get lost? Because if you get lost in the pathway of time, you can't turn around. But divinations is like a map and a plotting your pathway to the specific future in which you are hoping to make it to. So it's not written, it's more about guiding you to it. And this is one of the reasons I love to do divinations. I don't do them daily, that's just useless, but I do them periodically to check in on how I'm doing to meet my goals. And I adjust course according to the goals that I'm trying to achieve, because I do know that that is a probability that I need to work on. I do a lot of scrying sessions where I sit down and I don't only look at the probability of the goals I'm working on. I actually also try to scry alternate probabilities if I don't meet those goals. So I understand what pathways lead to the alternates as well as what leads to where I'm going. If I understand what leads here, I know what to avoid. But if I understand what leads here, I know where to go. And knowing where to go and what to avoid can absolutely, absolutely give you mastery over your life and where you're going. That is the true power of divinations. Not going to a tarot reader and asking, are me and Bobby getting married? Because everything could be going great in that relationship. Those cards could be like, absolutely. And tomorrow, new girl moves to town and Bobby decides you ain't his cup of tea. Or new guy moves to town and you decide Bobby ain't your cup of tea. Either way, things change. The future is in constant motion. And when we're doing with divinations, we have to be very, very much aware of that in order to get the most out of our divinations. I hope that helps. Excellent question, Purified. Excellent question. And we're getting on time too. So that was a great question to end on. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see here. You said 2 years. Okay. Yeah, Voyager, I think you're new here. So, real quick, I'll touch on what I did. So, I was just beginning to research and understand the Cliff-Off. I pathworked the Tree of Life before. And of course, more and more information on the Cliff-Off has been popping up all over the occult communities. And I'm curious. I want to understand things. I want to learn. I'm a knowledge junkie. So I did acquire a book that was essentially a compilation of multiple practitioners and their workings with, I want to say it was only the first 6 or 7 spheres of the dark tree. Now, when you open a sphere of the Cliff-Off, you should continually work with that sphere until you get all the lessons done and you move on. I knew this for the Tree of Life. I knew this. However, my dumb hind I was out of town. I was on a road trip, and I had this particular book with me, and I was bored in my hotel room. There was several days where I'd have 4 or 5 hours where I was just bored. So I literally opened one sphere per day to stick my head down that rabbit hole, poke around, get an idea of what this sphere was about and its energy. And then the next day I did it with the next sphere and the next sphere and the next sphere. So I essentially had 7 spheres of the Cliff-Off opened all at once. The thing is, they don't close because you want them to close. They close when the change and the lesson you need to learn is finished. And the Cliff-Offic energy is harsh, very, very harsh. So I opened these 7 floodgates that just came out with a group of people with ball bats, and they're just like, learn your lesson. And since I wasn't aware that these currents were in effect, it got very overwhelming, and the next 2 years was a complete shit show. But here's the thing. At the end of it all, I can honestly say my life came out better than I went in. Now, had I known what I was doing, had I not been an idiot, that would have been a much more pleasant journey and would have actually came out of it a lot quicker. Hindsight's 2020, though. So that was my mistake. That was my stupidity. That was me lighting the M80 and hanging on to it, as it were. Lesson learned. And since then, I've started doing a pathworking by Azonoth Mason, which is a 3-part pathworking, and I've been sticking to it and following it, being smart about it. It's been a very fascinating, revealing, growth-filled journey. Not easy, but it has been growth-filled. It has been hard at times, but it has actually been very, very growth-filled. Is Cliff-Offic working for everybody? Nope. It's pretty harsh. And I do think a lot of people aren't ready for it. But that's not for me to decide. That's for someone else. That's for the individual to decide and choose. I would say get a good understanding of Magick, pathworking, and other practices before you stick your head in there. And if you do decide to look into it, don't do what I do. Don't do what I did. That was just stupid. Please don't make that mistake. Anyways, but no, I'm happy to share my mistakes. One of the things I try to do on this channel, you got so many practitioners who they always tell you how perfect their practice is. It's like, I did this, look at this, I did this. And they make it look like every time they try something, it works perfectly. It don't. And I think it's important to share the mistakes. I really do, because we're human. I've been doing this a lot of years. I still make mistakes. We have a coffee cup over at the merch store that says, I saw, I got blowed up, because I get myself blowed up a lot of times in my research. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay doing that. I do handle some stuff recklessly. I do. And I admit it. And I don't recommend you necessarily do that, but also, everyone's different. Risk tolerance, if you will. All right, everyone. I'm going to pop off here. I'm going to go grab some dinner with the wife and try and have a relaxing evening. Tomorrow's my night off. or my day off. My daughter actually should be coming in tomorrow, so there's a fair chance we can drag her on camera on um, Sunday night for Magical Coffee Hour. Good God, if you have to deal with both of us, but it should be fun. And you all have a fantastic weekend. If you haven't checked out the school, please do go over to workingdragonmystic.com. Check out the classes we've already got uploaded. We are going to continue to upload more classes. Also, we do have a merch store where you can buy, the Dragon's Eye Seal coffee cups, even the tapestries that do work as magical circles if you wanted to. We also have like a altar cloth style beach towel, which is great for outdoor work. Absolutely. It has become my favorite workspace when I'm outside. Visit there, check out what we got. All that does go to help support the channel, and we do appreciate your support. And of course, share the videos on your social media if you know places where this information would be enjoyed. And until Sunday, everyone, you have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.